In this video, I share 5 reasons why I will never stop working out as an entrepreneur. My name is David Michelson. I'm the founder of the Discipline Group, and it's my mission to make entrepreneurship available to everyone. Yes, I know, it's a lofty goal, right? I help aspiring entrepreneurs start a business and get their first $1,000 in 90 days, even if they have no prior experience. Before we begin, I want to mention that the 5 most helpful comments below this video will be awarded an hour of free coaching or mentorship towards starting a business themselves. Before I share the 5 reasons, I want to take you back and tell you a little story. So when I was young, when I was growing up, I hated working out. I hated being active with all of my heart and all of my body. And my mom kind of forced me to do one thing weekly. And for a couple of years, it was badminton. And it was decent. I liked it. It was okay. But I wasn't very good at it, and I wasn't very motivated or consistent with it. And so in 8th grade, I quit that, and I kind of did nothing. And then I got into high school. And so as most young men probably experience, I wanted to be more attractive to women, and I wanted to feel more confident in my body. And so while I didn't play any sports, I decided to start working out in the gym. And let me tell you, like the first year and a half, the first 2 years, I had no idea what I was doing. I was terrible at it. I was inconsistent with it. I went maybe once or twice a week. I had no program for what I was doing. And all of this is fine, but this was just my initial experience with it. Despite all of that, I still got some results. And actually, I realized after about a year and a half that I was much more happy with my body. And for the first time, I was seeing some kind of change in the way my body looked. And one, it made me a lot more comfortable in my skin, but it also gave me a lot more confidence. And those few first initial results sparked a motivation to keep going, which has turned into incredible consistency. And so since those first year and a half or 2 years, I've been consistent in the gym between 3 and 6 times a week for about 7 to 8 years, with only a few periods of maybe 1 to 2 weeks off. And so why do I mention that? Well, I mention it to show you my consistency, but also my commitment to working out, and to kind of give you an idea of how much it means to me. And so from there, here are the 5 reasons for why, since I've also started as an entrepreneur, I realized that I'm gonna work out until I die in some way or another. The first reason is physiological longevity. Quite a number of times now, there are multiple studies showing that in the long run, to a large extent, having more muscle mass than just the average person and being in a better cardiovascular shape will improve your quality of life when you get older, and it will make you more resistant to injuries or falls for when you're older. And that is likely to increase the span of your life. And so it will, one, increase the quality of your life, and increase the likelihood that you will be older because you won't have an injury that'll be as fatal before then. Also, the physiological benefit is important because right now I'm spending quite a number of years working long hours quite intensively, and I'm sacrificing time with some family members and some friends, which I hope to not recover or recoup, but I hope to then have that time with maybe grandchildren in the future. And so the second reason why I will never stop working out is daily performance increases. And what I found is 2 main reasons. One, when you are in better shape, when you have more muscle mass, your body is better able to regulate blood sugar levels, which means even if you eat like super sweet stuff, you won't have the same spikes in your blood sugar and you won't have the same crashes, which means as an entrepreneur, you can eat more of the stuff you want and you can be more lenient with your diet and still have the energy to work the long hours, for instance. The second reason of daily performance is the mental clarity you gain from working out. And so the last couple of weeks, I've started working out in the morning because it saves me a bunch of time in the afternoon or in the evening. And I instantly feel when I've worked out in the morning and I go home, I take my shower, I get started with work, that I'm just focused and ready to attack whatever I have ahead of me. Whereas if I don't work out, I just mentally won't be as fresh. Now, you can probably find a bunch of studies on this, or go to Huberman or something. And I can't really explain it. I just know for myself that it works. And so if it works, why not do it? And so reason number 3 is the personal growth that I get from working out. Again, here are 3 reasons. The first is when you show up to the gym close to every day, you build consistency. And the ability to show up in the gym translates, for me at least, to the ability to show up for my business, for myself, for the promises I make to myself. And when I make those promises, I feel more competent. I have a higher sense of self-worth and self-respect. And when I feel more competent, when I believe in myself, I feel much more confident in the proof that I have in my capability to attack bigger tasks. And because of that, I also feel confident that I will keep going even when I don't get the results immediately. In short, it just fosters the habit of showing up every day, even if you don't have that much of a reason to show up. And the second point is persistence. It's not exclusive from consistency, but the fact that you go to the gym, you work out for a week, you might not see any results. You work out for 2 weeks or a month, you might see a little bit, but not proportionate to the amount of effort you put in or the time you put in. But when you go almost every day for a year, now you see life-changing development. And it's the same in business. Getting that understanding from working out that you continue every day without expecting stuff to come immediately, but you know that despite that, the results will come in the future when you make the inputs, when you take the action. And so the aspect of delayed gratification and persistence is probably one of the most important lessons I've learned and will continue to use from working out. The third point is working out close to every day, increasing the weight or the repetitions or the workouts you do, and just increasing the difficulty means that you continuously, on an ongoing basis, exceed your comfort zone. And even with your ongoing development, you keep challenging yourself, which again increases your feeling of competence. It shows you evidence that you are competent. It shows you evidence that you are capable of attacking things that you know are hard and difficult, and you know you will show up for yourself. And that is directly transferable to being an entrepreneur and starting a business. Because trust me, in that endeavor, you will face infinite obstacles, infinite problems. And you just have to believe in yourself and your own ability to solve those things when they show up. The fourth reason why I will never stop working out is I want to create the habit now that will allow me to set a good example for my children in the future. If you don't know it already, action speaks at least 100 times louder than words. You can say all you want, and you can do this the same in business. You can tell your employees something, but if your actions don't correspond to what you're saying and aren't aligned with what you're saying, if you do the opposite, nobody is going to believe you. I want to have the habit of actually setting the good example, but also I just want to create that habit for being a great role model in the future for my future kids. And finally, the fifth and last reason why I will never stop working out, and this is just one of the more fun reasons, is that I will never stop trying to reach my full potential. One of my fears is getting to the end of my life and having regrets of the things I didn't try. I don't want to be there thinking, oh, I could have tried to be healthier. I could have tried to be stronger. I could have tried to start the business and I didn't do it. I could have tried to, change the world in this way and I didn't do it. I don't want those regrets. And so working out was one of the first times that I realized that my potential was much bigger than I thought or that I already imagined at that point. And so continuously, as I've grown, both physically but also independently and mentally, my perception of what my full potential is grows accordingly. And so working out is a way for me to try and reach that potential. What is my body capable of? And it's fun to look a certain way, it's fun to be strong and all of this, but it directly impacts my experience of what my potential means. And that is directly transferable to also having a perception of what is possible in a business sense. Because if I hadn't worked out and if I hadn't gotten results with improving myself and my body and all of that, and I wouldn't have developed the idea in my head that I had more I could achieve, that there would be more than the level I was at. And so it ended up being a natural connection for me between working out and business. But having understood and reflected upon it, I now see why it's so crucial for me to believe that there is more I can do. And then because of the consistency, the persistence, the exceeding my comfort zone, The belief then to also think that I can reach that potential combines into a greater unity where 1 + 1 is no longer 2, but 3. And in my eyes, you start developing that kind of delusional faith that you need in order to kind of succeed as an entrepreneur. So these were 5 reasons why I'm never gonna stop working out. Maybe you thought this was bullshit. Maybe you thought it was helpful. I just wanna share what helps for me, and hopefully you can use it in your life with whatever you're dealing with. If not, I'm okay with that. Hopefully you can be okay with it too. Let me know in the comment what you liked or disliked about this video. As always, of course, thank you for watching and stay disciplined.